Hello and welcome to week 7. For week 7, you'll start with the overview. You'll notice that in the lessons and presentations, these 4 links you've had those in previous weeks over the course of the semester. So all of them can be used to stimulate the decision you make regarding which particular project from the course of the semester you're going to decide to remix. So let's get into that particular assignment. You're going to obviously first choose the paper, then you're going to choose a new genre to remix this paper into. You'll want to gather samples of the new genre to analyze, and you're going to write the content of the new genre by paying attention to things like style, tone, other written conventions, and you'll design that work to fit with the design and formatting of the new genre. So the first thing you're going to do is choose which paper, but you might want to think about what the criteria are in step 2. That might help you decide which writing assignment you want to remix. So your new genre must include writing. It can't be just visual, and it must also include a design or visual element. It has to have a new and clear audience, a new and clear purpose, and it's got to be significantly different from your initial genre. As I said earlier, the audience has to be clear and logical, and purpose, but they have to be new as well. All right, so an example would be if your genre analysis essay had been on Instagram posts, you could write a video tutorial for young teenagers who are new to Instagram. So now your audience is different. It's young teens. Your genre is a video tutorial, and the purpose will be to teach the teens how to create engaging posts. All right, you're going to find genre samples. You need to find and save at least 4 to 6, and you're going to annotate the samples to point out the conventions of the genre. So you want to look for both written and design conventions. So you're going to need to find 4 to 6 and annotate them, and you're going to need to save those because that's going to come into play in the final copy. All right, and I gave you some advice on how to annotate, how to save. You're going to write the content, so it's best most often for you to get into writing what you want to say with this new genre, and then worry about the design components second, because you often can get kind of stuck in playing around with fonts and colors and looking for the perfect image. You'll want to think about, what you're going to use as a platform for the design. So, for example, say you take that earlier assignment and you create a website. So you'll, maybe use something like Google Sites, or, to create a newsletter or an infographic, you might use something like Canva. You can use image sites like Pexels and Pixabay. They're both free image sites, and you can download and use their photos with no issues with licensing. Definitely, if you find, like, for example, say that you're going to take one of your assignments and remix it into an infographic, for example, and you're not that familiar with Canva, you can always Google, as you run into trouble. Often even YouTube has tutorial videos on how to use some of these platforms. You can always ask me, but it could be that I also am unfamiliar with that particular platform. All right, so for your rough draft that you're going to post into the forum, you know what the requirements are. It's got to include writing, include a visual element or a design element. It has to have a clear and logical audience and purpose, and they have to be different from the initial paper, and it needs to fit the conventions of the genre. And then you're gonna, so you will post your paper by Friday, and then by Sunday. So this is a little different than usual, going all the way back to the top. You're going to post your draft by Friday and respond to 2 classmates' drafts by Sunday. And so when you're, looking at a classmate's draft as before, you want to keep it positive, you want to be constructive, and you're going to use the questions in A through F to respond. And, we talked before about using complete sentences and specific examples from the rough draft to answer those questions. So your initial draft is posted by Friday, 2 responses by Sunday. The only other thing that you have for the week is to do your writing journal. And for your writing journal this time, you're going to really think about these different genres that we've moved through this semester, and thinking about how they communicate claims and evidence to various audiences. What have you noticed about your own writing process this so far this semester? What do you notice about demonstrating a flexible writing process? So, where do you change your approach, work on more or different drafts, or source feedback in creative ways? Has anything surprised you about your writing this semester, your writing knowledge, your writing process, the way you've developed? So just kind of look through those questions. As usual, this is about a paragraph response. You've got your rubric below. You've got these 2 kind of relatively big assignments. I mean, we've got the remix is a pretty big assignment. So you're going to be working on that steadily till Friday to get your draft up. Maybe as you wait for some of your peer responses, you can work on your writing journal. But pace yourself. We're almost to the end of the semester, and if you have questions, let me know.